What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadoolamite,
Purple bling bling, yo.
and your auditory canals are tuned into episode 246 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. Of course, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, I got my partners in crime. First on deck, it's Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover.
That's me.
Or hater, depending on what subject we're talking about.
Exactly.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, not bad. Not bad. Enjoying this wonderful day. It looks great outside. I'm excited. And I cannot wait to talk to y'all about these games. Aren't they so good? Aren't they just fantastic? Just gaming right now has just been so good. So I'm just super excited. So yeah, let's do this.
Wow.
What? I'm having fun.
Unbridled passion from you, sir.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm in a fantastic mood, my friend. Fantastic.
All right. So, but our show is a no-go without Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
Yeah, that is me, sir.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How's it going? Yeah. It just seems like I'm trying to maximize my dollars, and I got nothing to maximize my dollars on. So,
why? What? I know it's kind of scary. Like,
I know it's just like God. It's like I got my Best Buy rewards from spending a lot of money in Japan, and so I finally got dropped down $75 certificate for spending $3,000 or more within a certain period, which I did. I did spend more than $3,000, and I just looking and it's like, what do I really want to buy that's gaming related? It's like I thought about buying, replacement toothbrush heads for my toothbrush, but I wound up. I decided I'm gonna go. I pre-ordered a couple games on there, but it's just
I knew you'd find something, sir.
Yeah. I wound up. Even though I haven't played it yet, it's the story of my life. Picked up Sandland because I was kind of interested in it. And,
I want to get that too. I want to get it too. So you have to let me know how you like it if and when you play it.
Oh, you could always play it at Jabroni's house. So.
Yeah, I seriously thinking about getting it. I saw some of the figures and they look really, really cool. So, and I've read some of the manga, but not all the way through. So
I guess there's a Netflix series too. So
yeah. So
and then I pre-ordered Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. So
ooh. So you find out what to do with it. You're good.
Yeah.
Jabroni Chief is good.
I know.
No dilemma here for Jabroni Chief. He's good.
Yeah, but it's like nothing was screaming out at me, but it's because I already bought everything I wanted previously. Yeah. That's the reason why. So it's just it is what it is.
Now all you got to do is play it, right?
Yeah, but that's what happens when you're an adult. It's like, hey, I'm an adult now. I can do what I want.
Yep. Do what I want any old time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to bring us into what is always.
How are you? How are you doing?
Well, I'm yeah,
how
that's
are you?
Right. Yeah,
what's
going on with you, man?
Yeah,
I'm good. Just working and slaving away. As my life away.
as Joe is, I need to get a job, so the way I can be a part of that, because right now.
Well, misery loves company. So
yeah. Well, it took all that time to get my degree now, and it's like, okay, where's this job now? Okay, it's fine, but
you can manage Kevin's side hustle. How about that? Get a degree and then do that.
There you go.
I can't afford to put nobody on payroll.
There you go. Not yet, but I believe in you, sir. So, but yeah, okay.
Okay, that's going to move us to what is always our first topic on the docket, and that is the playlist. So let's kick things off with Des, what you been playing, man?
Well, I've been playing again, Immortals of Avium. Again, I really enjoy the game. It's definitely a solid, double A game. Doesn't ask for much. Like I said on the last episode, if you just want a solid, you know, flip on the um first person shooter narrative, the first person shooter kind of like genre, they did a really good job, and I really wish that they had. I mean, people were saying like, oh, the graphics are this, and the graphics are fine. Could they be the best they could have? No, no, they're not. But are they serviceable? Most definitely. And I think the story is good. It's no worse than any other AAA story that people. I don't know. Like people's tastes and how they make decisions on certain things is always very interesting when they're thinking about buying when they're thinking about a game and stuff like that. And I don't know, I can't see any glaring like flaws in the game that would make it have tanked so bad. But again, maybe I'm just a lot more definitely don't want to say open minded, but maybe I'm just a lot more just kind of like okay with subpar games. Maybe I don't know, because I don't feel it was very subpar. I'm actually enjoying my time with it. But again, people's thoughts and or feelings are their own, and so I just go with it. But I'm enjoying my time. And again, like I said before, I will champion this game with the hopes that if you have PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Network or whatever, and it's free, that you at least give it a chance. Because especially if you like first person shooters and you like magic and weird magical stuff, I think you'd enjoy it. I really think you enjoy it. And if you do check it out and you don't like it or like it, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it too. Because I want to see why you didn't like it or why you did like it. Because I'm just finding it's just funny finding joy in things that some people are just like, oh, this game sucks, and you're like, it's not that bad. I just want to hear like where the divergence is between your satisfaction and mine. Like I think that's a very interesting kind of like area to look at. So
I think the hive mind kind of jumped on it too much, and especially since it's an EA game, kind of was just something.
And I know everyone loves to jump on the bandwagon and hate EA, and don't get me wrong, they completely deserve all the hate they get for a lot of the stuff that they've done, but some of their stuff is just not that bad.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that Ascendant Studios, that it was created by or founded by the creative director of the original Dead Space. So
there you go. But I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it. We're at the part where the twist is going to happen. All these games have a twist in it, and so so one twist already happened, and looks like there's getting ready to be another one. So maybe that's why it was. Maybe because they thought the story was pretty formulaic. Although I didn't really think it was all that formulaic. But again, your mileage may vary. I'm enjoying it. So the other game that I was playing was Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde. It's on the Switch. I'm playing my Switch more. I'm making an aggressive push to play my Switch more. I bought all these Switch games in Tokyo, in Japan, and I want to play them. I want to experience them. I don't want to just be a collector, although I enjoy collecting. I actually enjoy the games. I want to enjoy the games that I buy because I only buy the games that I want to play. So if I buy the games I want to play, I should play them, and then collection is just a boon. That's kind of how I'm thinking it in my head. I would play this game anyway, so I might as well buy it and have it in my collection. But on the same token, I should play it. So I'm making an effort to play all my games. However, I've kind of gotten I don't want to say obsessed, but I've kind of gotten really into one of the games called Spirit Hunter Infinite Horde, and it is a not binding wise. I guess it kind of is. It's a Vampire Saviors Vampire Survivors clone. So it's one of those ones where you walk around the field and you kill things and you collect power ups and you get different attacks and that just kind of auto fire, and then you can get boons that will help you make your stuff fire faster, make your loot range higher and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying it. The graphics are really fun. It's perfect for the Switch because it's a game that is not completely, it doesn't overtax the system, and I equate it to a shmup. Instead of going from left to right, you were going around an infinite field almost. I mean, there's some that have different. There's some stages that have different layouts, like there's a cemetery and all these different ones. But I equate it to like a new type of shmup, and it can become very skill intensive the harder you get, depending on how you're weaving in and out of the hordes of enemies that you're fighting. And they're all different types of hordes, all different types of enemies, all different landscapes that you're walking on. And what's really cool about it is it has a progression tree. So that adds like a roguelite kind of thing, because as you kill things and get, gems and runes and all this other stuff, you use it on a skill tree. That will make your characters stronger, make their attack stronger, open up new stuff, open up pets that do different things that can change your runs. And so there's a lot of versatility to the characters that you use, because each of them have a special that is different for each of them, that does something different to the field, like a sweeper or something. Like it would be equivalent of a bomb in a shmup. But I really enjoy it. I think they have made you can find all different types of ones of these kind of like Vampire Survivor clones. You have like Souls-like clones. Now this is another clone, another genre that Vampire Survivors kind of started. And now this game, Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, is kind of another one that's in that wheelhouse. There's tons of them, and it's just finding the ones that kind of resonate with you. And this one has been really fun. It's on the Switch. It's super cheap. It's always super cheap on the Switch, maybe like $5. So it doesn't ask for much from you, and you can literally, I think I'm almost up to 10 hours in it, just playing these different characters and unlocking characters and getting stronger and seeing how far I can go before I die. So there's something to be said about these endurance games, and the kind of I don't want to say addictive nature, because I don't think I'm like, it's like a super addictive, I got to do it, but I can definitely feel I want to do one more run, because a run is generally 15 minutes, and if you survive all the way to the end boss, 15-minute boss, then you get something for it, which is really cool. And then it's that progression that keeps you going to see how powerful, just how powerful you are, or using different characters. And then they have challenges that you do with different characters to even unlock more stuff. So it's just this, I don't want to say it's never ending, because there's a finite thing that'll happen. You unlock everything and then you do all the challenges and then you're done. But it's just fun. And people think that that's kind of boring, but I haven't reached it yet. I think it would be really fun to find a horde game like this that's multiplayer, because a lot of them are single playered. And so I think that's going to be the next evolution of the Survivors. Vampire Survivors clones is going to be a multiplayer version, like a multiplayer kind of like Vampire Survivors type game. So if you're interested, I'm sure it's on every platform. I just bought it for the Switch because I saw it in the store and it was super cheap, and it just looks fantastic on the Switch. It looks fantastic in docked mode. It looks fantastic in handheld. It's just, well, I've only played it in docked mode, but what I've seen from reviews, it's pretty good in dock mode, or in handheld mode.
It's on Steam and Xbox. So
there you go. So
no PlayStation for some reason. So
yeah, not yet. I mean, it'll be there probably. Maybe it's a time release. Like everything shows up on PlayStation at some point. They just don't ever mention it, unfortunately. Very rarely does PlayStation mention when something new comes out. That's an indie game. It's weird. Like that game Solasta that was on it was on Steam, and then it went to early access. It was early access on Steam, and then it went to early access on Xbox. And Xbox was like, oh, we have this game, let's have this game. And then it kind of had its 1.0 release, and then a whole bunch of DLC, and then boop, out of nowhere, it just kind of popped up on PlayStation, And I was like, oh, it's out on PlayStation. It's on sale right now, so I went ahead and picked it up. So I was like, okay, cool. So it's just these. It's probably a timed exclusive with Xbox or something. So I can't imagine that it won't show up there at sometime soon. It's like you have to rush out and buy the game, but I really enjoyed it.
Do you direct the shooting with your right stick, or is
Nope.
it a point that it just auto shoots for you?
It auto shoots. It's not a twin stick shooter. It auto shoots where you go. You can increase the amount of projectiles. You can decrease the time in which the fire rate. If you have something that encircles you like an aura or something, you can extend how big it is around you. You can increase the damages, and these are all little points that you put into each of the skills, or so. But they're fun. I enjoy them. They're basically super. I never want to say it's mind numbing, because I find it to be very relaxing and just kind of like, before you know it, 15 minutes is gone, and you've beat the level, and you're like, this is sweet. And the replay value was there, So I'm enjoying it. You can pick it up. There's tons of them. Doesn't have to be this one. There's tons of them out there. Just look for one and see if it fits your boat. There's some on iOS too. There's some on Android, so you can play it on your phone. Play different ones on your phone. It's just, this is the one that the most recent one that I've played, and one that's kind of like captured me for the time being. So I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. The last thing I want to talk about real quick is the Fallout TV show. If you have not watched the Fallout TV show on Prime Video, you really should. It is fantastic. It is it's the creative team that did Westworld. If you liked that series, they like to do futuristic type stuff. But the cool thing about the Fallout TV show is that it is based in the Fallout universe, yes, but it is canon to the lore, and it takes place in 2077, the year that the bombs fell and started the 20-minute war. I think it's either 2 hours or 20-minute war. When all the bombs dropped. So it takes place before all the games, and it takes place after all the games. Like, I think it's 9 years after. Is it 9 years? Maybe a decade or so after Fallout 4. And so it is telling its own original story set in the Fallout universe, and everything that has been prior is canon. And so it is also creating canon by showing stuff that's happening in 2077, and it's continuing the canon in 2098, I think it is when it's set. And it's just great. I don't want to spoil too much of it. There are a couple of plot holes here and there, but what story doesn't have plot holes? They're not so glaring that completely takes you out of it. But I really enjoyed it. And if you have played Fallout and the lore, they are so faithful to the lore that it's crazy. And you can see it. I mean, Todd Howard was a part of he wasn't a part of the writing team, but when they were creating the script and the storyline, like, he was there. And they were asking him, like, does this work within the continuity? And he's like, yeah, that'll fit. And, oh, no, that won't fit. Or, oh, yeah, that's really cool, stuff like that. So the attention to detail with regards to lore is fantastic, and the acting is great. The story is great. People are saying, it could have been that they could have pushed the envelope a little bit further by showing a few more horrors of the wasteland, but you got to go somewhere, like, because there were no death claws in this, but people were like, where are the death claws? Where's this? Where's that? And it's like, come on, let it build. So it was only 6 episodes, let it grow, let it grow. It's like they're 6-hour long episodes, so just let it be. And they were able to tell a pretty concise story in the time and set up the next season. Just a really good show. Oh, number one, it is pretty brutal or graphic. So you can score like nat 20s, in the show. Like they score nat 20s. So be prepared to see a little bit of gore. But again, fantastic show. If you have not seen it and you have access to it, you should definitely watch it. It doesn't ask a lot of your time. I think it's only 6 episodes at an hour apiece, and you can literally binge it one a day or one a week if you want to. But it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. So, and if you want to have a conversation about the show, you can definitely do that on our Discord. Because I would love to hear what people have thought about it, because I thought it was great. So I would love to see what other people thought. But that's it for me. Kev, I'm gonna kick it over to you, my friend. What have you been playing?
So my playlist is very reminiscent of last week's. So it's been Helldivers 2. Been playing some of that when I get time. And again, this is when I get time. Helldivers 2, been enjoying that. Looking forward to the next War Bond that's going to be coming out here, I guess next month, I think. Where they're dropping some ice specific equipment.
Oh, whoa.
And some of the weapons look pretty dope. And
are you going to like an Arctic planet or something?
I would assume that they're going to be bringing Arctic areas into it, because I know they showed Arctic areas in the promotional videos leading up to the game's release.
Ooh, that's scary.
So that should be interesting. Still having a crap ton of fun with that game. Still primarily playing it solo because I don't do the randos anymore. But the game is a lot of fun. Still enjoying it. Went and played some more Dragon's Dogma 2. And I almost painted myself into a corner with that game. And again, this game does not hold your hand, like, at all. Like, it's really surprising for a game of this type of how little hand holding it does. I'm still trying to do like the first series of story missions that I've been given. I completed one. I was on my way. I had to take out like this goblin horde that had invaded this mining cave. So I had to clear those people out. And it was I said before, this is medieval GTA, and some of the weirdest stuff I have seen go down in this game. Like, as we were coming in to clear the cave, there was this, I don't know I can't remember what his name is, but he's a goblin, but he's much bigger than the regular goblins. He's not super giant. He's probably about as big as a standard sized human being, like me, like 5'6", 5'7", something like that. But he's kind of muscular, and he's standing on top of this in the cave. There's like these elevated stalactites, and I think those are the ones that come up from the ground, and he's standing up on one of those things, and he's got his hands over, yelling with his club, whatever he's saying in his little goblin language. And my pawn, and again, the pawns act independently, just grabs and picks up a boulder and just throws it at him.
Wow.
And just clobbers him upside
Okay.
the head.
Just unprovoked.
Just. I mean, we were there to to clear out all the goblins, but
still, though, that's
I was.
okay then.
She just threw that boulder and just just have at thee or whatever she says when she throws something and just smack knocked it down.
Yeah. That's because it's enjoying, like it's enjoyable. You're like, wow, y'all are just out of control.
Oh, it's savage out there. It's savage out there in them dogma streets. I've seen bandits try to rob soldiers, but that didn't end too well for them. And just random stuff that you come across, just doing your regular stuff. I fought that griffin again, almost killed him this last time. I'll explain how that happened, but that griffin is just like he is just. I don't know, I think it was following me, and I wound up having to climb this this series of I would call them mountains, but they're not like mountain ranges per se, but they're this cliffy area. I was trying to figure out where my next objective was for this 3-tiered story mission that I'm on. And the griffin shows up, but he flies past my party and he heads toward this other cliff area. And there is this stone I'll call him a stone golem because I don't know what else to call him. But I don't know if the golem had come across its nest and was trying to take out its eggs or what, because I saw it smashing something on the ground. I couldn't tell what it was hitting because the rock formations were blocking my view. But I just kind of stood there for about like 5 minutes, and this golem is just giving this griffin the work. I mean, grabbing him, slamming him on the ground, breathing fire and point blank in his face, just mollywhopping him. And it flies off for a little bit, then comes back and starts to fight again. I don't even know who wound up winning. Because I did have other stuff to do, but it was just like, But the part where I'm just surprised at how little this game holds your hand. So I had just completed like the second tier of this 3-tiered mission. I still have one group of missions to do, and they're all clearing out monsters. The first one was clearing out orcs. The second one, I had to clear out saurians. Okay, saurians are a pain in the butt, at least for me, because I'm
Those are those salamander looking things, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, they are a pain because they're like, they're like lizard man ninja turtles. And they do these, broad jump leap attacks jumping at you from 30, 40 feet. And my character, since he's an archer, his only real defense is to run away, like, try to get out of range. And I don't have strong enough skills yet to really do a whole lot of damage to him. I did pick up a mage pawn that enchants weapons when battles start.
Oh, the fire one. Yeah.
Yeah, but she only does fire, and these things are kind of resistant to fire. So that really wasn't helping much. I do have another mage that has ice magic, and that did some damage. But it took me like 2 or 3 tries to clear that because them saurians were just like, just when they see you, they just bum rush you. So I finally I got past that. I cleared the actual mission, but there was another group of saurians like in the cut. It's like they were just literally watching, right? So they were in the cut. And as I'm turning around trying to figure out how I'm going to get back to the city to collect on this to collect on what I had done. I mean, these Saurians, just like 4 or 5 of them deep, 4 or 5 deep, just come running out of the side from the cliff face because they can climb cliffs. I didn't know that either. And they mollywopped us, and I had to spend the next like 4 continuances just trying to get away from them. Because if you run far enough away, stuff will stop chasing you. But I mean, when I got killed, I was always in the middle of that group, and the autosave feature, whenever you die, unless you choose to respawn at your last either encampment or hotel stay, it puts you right near what killed you. So my whole thing is just trying to run and get away from get away from these damn Saurians, and it's just like I finally was able to do it, but I was just like, okay, I'm level 12 now, and I still feel useless. What is wrong with what is wrong here? So I had to sit down and go into my menus, and I have like this whole page of what they call inherent skills that the game doesn't even tell you about. Game doesn't tell you about them. I didn't even know that they existed. I just literally happened across them when I was moving through tabs trying to figure out why my dude was so weak. So I have all these inherent skills. I've got like the archer class doesn't have a dodge or a counter, but he does have this he does like this flying kick, and he'll spin back and do an arrow flurry and whatever he's kicked. I've got that move. I've got another move where I can pull back harder on the bow, so standard arrows do more damage. It's like I had like 5-6 skills that were just what they call core inherent skills. I didn't know that. So okay, if I got that, what does my pawn have? She got the same similar stuff. She's got moves where she can tackle stuff and impale stuff on her sword. And this is all just like regular inherent skills I didn't know you had to equip. I didn't know they existed. So, it's like this whole other layer of stuff, and I haven't tried the core skills out yet, but
I'm sure it'll change your gameplay.
It does. I already saw my pawn using some of the core skills. Like we got waylaid by some bandits, and she just straight up like Hulk Hogan body tackled one of them and just impaled him on her sword. Just like it's like it would have been nice. Yeah, it's like as if I wish would have known about some of this stuff. But it's a journey. It is a journey. But the last game I have been playing has been Stellar Blade, and I haven't been able to really play it much. Surprisingly, I've been playing Dragon's Dogma a little bit more than Stellar Blade, but that is probably it's definitely in contention for my personal game of the year.
Oh, good.
I have made it to Zion, the city of refuge for the last of humanity on the planet, and I'm not saying anything that hasn't been revealed in promotional videos. So now I'm actually at the hub where I'm going to start taking where you can start taking missions from the people of Zion and completing side missions for them in conjunction with the story stuff. The combat is just awesome. It's definitely Souls inspired, but the mechanics behind it are very technical. The tells are very important for you to pay attention to. You cannot go into this game like Devil May Cry and play it like that. You'll get washed. the game makes you pay attention to the enemy tells for sure, and I really like that. It's not it's not as fast paced as some of the promotional videos pointed out to be, but man, is it excellent combat. The combat is just superb, and different skills build upon your core abilities. And when you get, it's really cool. Like when you have when you execute a blink attack, and I have for example, the blink attack is a move where when an enemy's doing a particular type of attack that I can't, they're not unblockable, but the timing is kind of weird on them if you were to try to parry or block them. Her sword will glow, and when you see her sword glow, you hit the circle button and she will teleport behind an enemy and do a reverse counter. But I opened up the follow-up skill to that, in which when you complete the counter, if you tap the triangle button, she'll follow through with another slash where that builds up your special abilities meter. And doing the way they just kind of layer attacks one on top of the other, and layer abilities one on top of the other, the combat is just like super smooth. It literally kind of plays out like kung fu theater. If you're, for those who are old enough to remember, way back in the day,
yep,
it's almost like that. It's almost like that, and it is.
Her sword goes into her hair. It's her beret.
Yeah, it's a beret. Yeah.
Just, she thought of everything.
Thought of everything, indeed. But that's the only games that I played. I'm going to mention a couple of animes real quick. I've been watching Zom 100 or Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead. It's an older series. It came out maybe a couple years ago, but I saw on commercials that Toonami started airing it this month, because they just finished up Demon Slayer, and I just happened to be on Crunchyroll, and they had the complete series on there, so I started checking it out. It's good. It's good in a way that you really don't expect this type of humor, given what's going on. It's almost Zom 100 would be if The Walking Dead was a comedy, and when I say comedy, be almost like Seinfeld. It's a trip. It's like this college graduate gets hired right after graduation, what he thinks is his dream job in telecommunications. But the company he works for is just slave driving. Like you've got dudes that are working 10, 15, 20 hours unpaid overtime a week, and they're bragging about how much they're working. Like these dudes are bringing cots and stuff to work, not going home, and talking about, yeah, well, hey kid, tell me, you can't complain to me until you've been away from home for 2 weeks.
Sounds like the IRS, right, Joe?
Literally not going home.
No comment.
and he slowly, you see him go from this happy-go-lucky, enthusiastic, ready to take on the world, ambitious, naive young kid, literally working his dream job, and it slowly deteriorates into this wage slave zombie. And he is just what am I doing with my life? So the zombie apocalypse hits, and instead of being worried and panicked, he's elated that he doesn't have to work anymore.
I think I've heard of this.
Dude, you really should check it out. is ridiculously funny, like some of the stuff that goes on. I mean, it pulls no punches with, and these aren't like, Night of the Living Dead shuffling zombie. No, these run after you.
Ew.
So so he's meeting, like, he comes across like all these crazy people who are like, taking all this stuff seriously, trying to survive. And bruh's trying to figure out how he's going to get this 80-inch flat screen TV to his apartment because he finally has time to watch all the anime he's got on his DVR.
I mean, those are goals, though. Like, if the power's still on, I mean,
yeah, the power is still on some kind of way. That they have the city Tokyo hasn't lost power, but I mean, check it out. It's hilarious.
What's it called again?
Zom 100.
Okay.
Bucket List of the Dead.
Okay, that sounds crazy.
It is. Art animation is top notch, and it's weird because it's almost like they kind of superimpose the bloodiness of this zombie apocalypse, but they don't use like red. They use like these bright, vibrant colors. When a zombie bites into somebody, you might see blues and pinks and oranges sprout out from their necks. Other times you might see blood, but it's almost like this guy is seeing his world in full color, and he even talks about that a couple of times, where when he was the wage slave, everything was just black and white, dull and depressed. It's very good. And just a few hours ago, I saw that season 2 of My Adventures with Superman is dropping next month, I think.
Yep.
And as somebody who really doesn't like Superman in the comic books,
it was so good, though.
That series was very, very good. So I'm really looking forward to season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. Looks like so they're bringing in Lex Luthor in season 2,
and Kara was his sister.
Oh,
sorry, his cousin. Sorry,
Supergirl, right?
Yeah, Supergirl. Sorry.
Okay, so bringing Supergirl into it. So I'm expecting great things from season 2, because season 1 was an absolute blast. And again, everybody was crapping on this when it was first announced. They've turned Clark Kent into a magical girl and all this other stuff. I thought it was great.
Yep.
But again, I am not your typical. I'm barely a DC fan. It's like the only DC comic I really read was Batman, and every now and then. But yeah, can't wait for season 2 of My Adventures of Superman to drop. So
good.
That's going to do it for my gaming and anime watching. So I'm going to pass the mic to Jabroni Chief. What you been up to this past week, bro?
Oh, before that, go into what I've been doing. I saw the Adventures of Superman. They have a comic, I guess, that's gaps between season 1 and season 2. So you might want to look into that, Kev, just in case if you're interested. So.
Yep, it should be coming out. I think it comes out next week, actually. Now think about it. But yeah,
I might do that.
Check it out.
Yeah, as far as what I've been playing this past week, a lot of the same stuff I kind of covered the last few episodes. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is like my go-to right now, so I'm still pushing forward with my Hammer Zerker up to like level 37, I believe is where I'm at. So, and just kind of making my way through the story on there. It's still kind of been something to where, even though I know Goonie wants me to go back and play Division. I just haven't got the itch for it, And I'm not sure if
you mean you've gone cold on it. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Maybe I've gotten cold. It's a point that after that month of Xbox, nothing was ever the same afterwards.
Oh no.
But things. I have plenty of other games I like and want to enjoy, and Tiny Tina's I kind of bounced off of it like a couple times, different times, and so it's kind of cool that I've gotten back into it and gotten the itch really. So, and it's a typical, to me, it's a typical Gearbox Borderlands game. I've gone through phases where, I was playing Borderlands 2, playing, the pre-sequel, Borderlands 3, and now Tiny Tina, even though, there's RPG elements to it. In of itself, by itself, it's still a Borderlands game,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
even with the additional stuff, I kind of like the narrative and whatnot, so kind of eager to see. I do have the season pass, so I'll probably dive into the DLC. I don't know if I'll take a break or not. If I wind up taking a break, I might just move on to other stuff. But speaking of other stuff, I got from the library a copy of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and the game is loaded, and I happened to play it. I kind of got a feel for the game a little bit. I went back, and basically the beginning of the game is just like the tutorial that we went through when we were doing the closed beta, not the open beta on there, and we had such wonderful things to say about it. But going through the tutorial again, playing all 4 characters, it just seems like they kind of worked out the bugs as far as the traversal is concerned, and the HDR is much better this time go around. And so I know with the closed beta, I basically went through the beginning tutorial with all 4 characters, got over to the Daily Planet, and then stopped playing at that point. So I didn't even get to see like the beginning story sequence at all or anything like that. So I'm not sure how far you guys played before you decided to bounce off the closed beta or not, but I'm up to the point to where I'm beginning the first mission, so that's where I'm at right now. So I happened to play it earlier today, but got to see where I was able to queue in, and if I wanted to play with bots or if I wanted to play with other players, I could go in, and I saw the whole front end about different weapons you could equip, the different gear that you gather for each of the 4 heroes, and so on and so forth. So I'm seeing to where the menu system is in place, and obviously it's a point that I'm not sure how longer I'm going to be playing this game. I have this game until next Monday on the 13th, so I did look while we were recording and saw that I guess there's like one person that wants a hold on it, and that there's six copies out at the library, so I might have to give it up at least for a little bit, unless I go out.
Isn't so, Joe.
Unless I decide to go out and buy it for some reason, but I'll probably put another hold on it if need be. But I'm gonna try to check out a little bit more this upcoming week, and maybe talk about next episode once I get into the nitty gritty. Out of the 4 characters, I think Deadshot probably speaks to me the most.
Everyone plays Deadshot.
Yeah. So, because I mean, Captain Boomerang was kind of weird with the whole Speed Force thing. I was expecting, Captain Boomerang just to be old school Captain Boomerang.
Nope, he's a speedster.
I know, kind of weird. And Harley Quinn was kind of cool with the grappling hook, but it's like other than that, there's nothing that really kind of points out or differentiates her from anyone else. I think King Shark was kind of interesting as well. And I kept joking about this game being my quote unquote Crackdown 4. I don't see that right now, at least. So I'll have to dig into the gameplay, because having them run with 3 bots and having all this craziness going back and forth and shooting these robots, I don't know if the gameplay loop is going to necessarily be something that's going to be super addictive. I'm kind of digging where at least the beginning of the story, so I'll have to kind of see exactly where it might go. I know a lot of people said that the base game itself was actually not bad. It's just there's nothing motivating them to continue to play with the service aspects after the main campaign is over. So I'll have to check and see. I know that especially they said the fidelity with some of the character designs and the story sequences are quote unquote top notch. It's too bad it's kind of wrapped up in that type of a game on there. So, and we haven't really talked about the game too much after our experiences with the closed beta, but I wanted to kind of see for myself again just to see where the game was at. And I'm not running out to buy it. I could tell you that right now. So. I'm dedicating some time to play it, but I could look at my backlog and see all the bangers in my backlog, and I'm just like kind of thinking to myself, I said I would do this, and I have the opportunity because I have the game from the library, so that's where I'm at with that. So we'll see if I'm motivated to not play Wonderlands and play more Suicide Squad this week. It took today, one of my days off, to be able to actually boot it up and load it on because I actually promised or told myself I would do this before coming onto the show today. So
I'm glad
that's
you
where
did.
I'm at with that. Oh, I know. Have any questions, you guys? What do you want to know about Suicide Squad?
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't have any questions.
Mm-mm. That demo was enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I want to know what one thing you didn't say, and I thought that's very telling, is are you enjoying it so far?
From what I played of it, it seems like I gotta. It's not like 100% like lock like a glove. I don't feel the synchronization of the gameplay and the fluidity like with other games. So I'm still going to have to get used to the systems and see if it kind of synchronizes or kind of speaks to me. Because if it's I'm sitting there looking at my controller. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing here, especially with some of the characters and stuff as far as the main traversals and whatnot. So I did get an email from Warner Brothers already saying, welcome to Suicide Squad. And, showing me some YouTube videos and sending me some
That's
links.
nice.
So they want me to dig into it. They're looking for their whales out there. So yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Welcome to Task Force X. Grab your squad and get ready to save the world, because I'll have to see who I'm on the squad up with. Mm-hmm.
Well, you never know. You might.
Yeah.
You might. I don't know. Like you might like it and get the DLC and play as the Joker, and you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I know. Right now, I am reading Suicide Squad. I'm reading the original series, like back in the 86, I think. So original DC stuff I read at back in the day when I collected floppies and pretty much read comics on the regular. So got through the first graphic novel just last week. So enjoying that quite well. I almost wish in a way I could play a video game rendition of that Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
This, with no Harley Quinn, with Deadshot, actually being the character that he is there, and of course Rick Flag and whatnot. I think if I could get a Suicide Squad game of that, I think that would be pretty good, because work the whole angle. It almost would be like an XCOM type of game where you never know who's going to die, moment's notice kind of thing. So,
well, maybe next time.
That's pretty much it. But other than that, that's all I've been up to this past week. So
cool. Glad you took that bullet for us, Joe, even though no one asked you
to. Oh, I know. No, it's just something of my, I saw it and it's like, okay, I'm going to give this game a shot and kind of go from there, I'm just hoping when we see the Xbox showcase next month, we'll see Crackdown 4 announced, but I really doubt it. So
no. Sorry, buddy.
No can do.
Okay.
No.
Right, that's going to move us to our next topic on the docket. We've got a main event coming at you this week. All right, Dez, you got the mic, bro.
All righty. So for this main event, it's not a question. We actually got some more feedback from our listeners regarding our main event question from 2 episodes ago. I guess there was a couple folks who really wanted to share their thoughts about our question, which gaming generation was your favorite? So we're going to save the actual new question for the next show, and we're going to chop up what some of the folks said in our Discord. So again, if you want to join our Discord and join the conversation, stay till the end because Kev will let you know how to do that. So the question that we asked again was, which gaming generation was your favorite? And then we used a Wikipedia article that basically broke down what those gaming generations are. And we definitely go back and listen to those other two podcasts if you want to hear our thoughts about it. But again, we had some people who wanted to, let their opinion be known, and here they are. So Will D said, by their standards, speaking of the Wikipedia article, the fourth generation followed closely by the third generation were my favorite generations. I've owned a console from every generation except the first and fifth generation. I've had a PC or Apple computer since the second console generation. That's a long time. The fourth generation was just a fun time. There was the true beginning of the console wars. Yep. The games were fun, including a generation of really fun sports games, NHL, FIFA, and Madden, platformers, and various RPGs and action games. Yes, I think that definitely was the one where you really started to see the proliferation of different genre type games. I don't really see the seventh through ninth generations as discrete generations, at least in how they define them. Moreover, once PC became viable alternatives to the consoles, I gave up on consoles. Nowadays, my PC is hooked up to the TV, and the experience is amazing. I do have a PS5, but it just collects dust. I also have a Nintendo Switch, and it still gets a lot of use. It's the perfect console handheld for introducing a kid to gaming. It's interesting. I'm interested. That's an interesting, because I know you're one of our PC guys, and you really advocate for PCs, and you know a lot about them. But I would love to hear your thoughts about why you feel PCs are why you gave up on the consoles. And again, I'm not trying to start a war or anything like that. I just want to know, for you, what was the draw to PCs? And because, since you're saying that you had a PC since it looks like the 80s, was it because of the familiarity, the amount of power, what you could do with it? I'm just really curious, as to what, and if any of our fellow listeners are really, hardcore PC gamers, I really want to know like what it is, because we really don't talk about the validity of PC gaming. Not that it's bad. We just don't talk about it because the three of us are for the most part pretty console centric, almost entirely, if you're going to be honest. So I would just love to hear your thoughts, because it seems like you really just kind of tapped out of the generations and you pop in and out. And the Nintendo Switch, I totally agree with you. The Nintendo Switch is a perfect introduction to get kids into gaming, or if you are on the go. I think that's that niche that Nintendo has really latched onto and held very, very tightly. And that's why this whole thing about this whole rumor about Xbox coming out with a handheld and like Nintendo, or sorry, and a PlayStation coming out with handheld, it's like why would you want to enter that market? But again, that's up to them. Would either of you like to comment on Will D's? I'll start with Kev. Do you have anything to add to this conversation?
Not really. I kind of wish I enjoyed PC as much as he did. I went through this trouble of putting one together. About, gosh, this thing has got to be close to like 4. Whenever the 1000 series of graphics cards came out from NVIDIA, so that's going back a few years. So I kind of wish it would have stuck with me, but I just hate solving problems when I want a game. I understand, there's a lot of freedom in PC gaming. You can do what you want. You're not tied to any platform per se, and you can run a game as well, all things being equal, as well as your hardware can handle. But I just got tired of every time I turned that thing on, Windows would update and it would break something in one of my Steam games. Case in point, Max Payne 3. I still can't play Max Payne 3. So because of some error, and the last thing I want to do is go to a message board and figure out what
Yeah.
335-772554321 error means. I'm not going to do that.
Or find
It's
this
just not
file
my.
in this folder and this folder and this folder.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that over here,
Yeah.
especially now. Back when I put this thing together, I had more time to do that. I just didn't want to. You couldn't pay me to do that type of work now. So I get it. I if anything, and then my Steam Deck was like hitting my head against a brick wall, because that's nothing but a handheld PC, just getting what I would think simple stuff to work was just not, the math wasn't mathing. I'll just say that. I mean, I finally got the stuff that I wanted it to do to work. I still haven't got MAME on the thing because I can't figure out how to get that shit to work. So it's like, I'm good with consoles forever and ever.
Okay. Joe, you got anything to add?
Well, one thing about Will D and this is jumping over to PC is just I'll be kind of curious as far as what games spoke to him on the PC, because the thing about it is I would have looked at PC as a platform for me a lot sooner, but a lot of the games I enjoyed were on console, and a lot of them developed by Japanese developers that weren't coming out on PC. So, it was just a point that I had never considered PC as a valid platform way back when, because just the games on the platform were different than what was available on console. So that's the reason why I've probably have been more of a console-oriented gamer, even though nowadays it just seems like everything is out on Steam for the most part anyway. So,
Yeah.
But I'll be kind of curious to, if we're talking about top games, especially, talk about fifth generation. Fifth generation was what, N64, Saturn, and PlayStation. And to me, it's like, that's my favorite generation of consoles. And he entirely like skipped that generation. So I'm just kind of curious to what angle, Will, that you came in, and as far as what games were really speaking to you back then.
Yeah.
Versus what we were playing during that time, So
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Will, please feel free to chime in on Discord, and we would love to hear back from you. So yeah. Next we have Crucial Chase coming back and said, well, that was quick, LOL. Well, anyway, I'm going to answer anyway, even though it's late. The first time I experienced gaming was the NES, and I did like it a lot. I went to games as a kid, but I didn't immerse myself in gaming culture or go to the arcades or get magazines or anything. I just played Mario every now and again, and I got a Game Boy, and all I played was Mario Land 2. Okay, I mean, you stuck with something that was great, and you ate it. I love it. I didn't really do anything gaming after that until PS2, and even then, all I played was Silent Hill games and things like it, such as Fatal Frame. But at that time, I was starting a band and got into the hardcore scene and did shows all over the Carolinas and Virginia. So video games was something we did with friends, taking turns playing Vice City or Tony Hawk and the like. So I didn't really get into the gaming as a main hobby until I moved out of my parents' house. I got an original Xbox and played Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 and a few others like that. But the Xbox 360 is where is where I got into it fully and was fully invested at that point. All right. Xbox 360, I can definitely see that. The first thing I played was the Orange Box, BioShock, The Darkness, Time Shift, and Fear. Wow, really with the first-person games and your your horror-oriented games. But you played hardcore, so I guess that kind of fits. It was magical the first time you come out of that water in BioShock and I think that's my favorite generation because I met friends that I still talk to this day, and franchises I still love to this day, like Mass Effect. I did get into Call of Duty and Battlefield with
Modern Warfare.
Thank you, Modern Warfare and 2 and Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, and found a love of Western RPGs. Yeah, I think I think you raised a really interesting kind of thought. I didn't really think about this till you started putting it up. But out of the generations, you guys, either one of you jump in, 'cause I don't know the answer. Which one do you think sort of started the 3D RPG game? Because for a long time there, RPGs were either asymmetric or they were click-based dungeon crawlers. What generation started those kind of like? I know we had Doom, so first-person games were around for a very long time, but the 3D, because the one that I really remember that really kind of like struck everyone was Final Fantasy VII, and that 3D environment. You know, what do you?
It was probably, honestly, it was probably PC because there was Zork.
Really?
There was Zork 3D.
Okay.
Back in the day, and it was, I think it was on a green. It was we played on that black and that green and black monitor, but it presented 3D depth.
Okay.
But if you're talking consoles, I'd have to probably say the first PlayStation.
Yeah.
Probably definitely made it mainstream, if anything.
Yeah.
It may not have been first to market, but it made it mainstream for sure.
Yeah, because it was that disc. Once they were able to put more data on the disc, they were able to render those 3D spaces. So I think that was the one thing because I remember when it went from cartridges to disc, it was like a game changer. It was like, what? You know, there's so much more power now. And I remember like, you know, looking at Virtual Fighter and looking at Final Fantasy VII and looking at all those fucking jagged edges and being like, oh, it's 3D, and you're like, it's like the height of gaming, and you're like, oh, it's 3D. And you look at it now, and just the short time frame we jumped, now these generations get shorter and shorter.
Some of them don't hold up.
No, but I honestly, I think that right there is when a lot of people got into home consoles. Well, that and the death of the arcade, but I think when they were able to see the power that these consoles were putting in, I think that's when people really were like, what do you think about that, Joe? Were you like, I know you got super hot when the Saturn came. No, the Saturn wasn't. Okay,
Dreamcast,
so
I think you're talking about, right?
It was the Dreamcast before the Saturn, correct?
Dreamcast was after Saturn.
Okay,
correct.
Because the Saturn, because they had the Sega CD, and that was the first CD technology for Sega, right?
From Sega, yeah, but the first CD was actually with the PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16. So
that was the.
That was
so
the.
Were you? Oh, I'm sorry.
That was the first CD add-on on there. So.
But when you saw that, you got super like wet, and you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta get that! Look at these graphics, right?" So,
oh god.
I did not
terminology.
Sorry, I just.
No, I wasn't juicing. I wasn't like spraying fluid at the Toys R Us or anything like that, sir.
It's like, I gotta have it. Look at these graphics.
No, at the time, CD was cool, but I couldn't justify paying $400 for the TurboGrafx CD add-on, because even then I knew that they weren't bringing out games in the U.S. that was released in Japan. So
look at him, everybody. Piff piff.
I did not buy it. I actually waited until they released the Duo in North America, the Turbo Duo, which was the PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16 with the CD add-on. So I picked it up at that point. So I was like 1993. That's when I had a job and had the money to be able to afford it, too. So
was that your first disc console you got?
I think I got the Sega CD in 1992 because that was Sega CD came out fall of 1992.
Yeah,
so I picked it up then.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't. I never bought the Sega CD because I didn't have anything that I could, get it. Of course, I didn't have any disposable income at that point. So 92, I was in high school. I didn't have any money, so I was a kid. So I was like, so yeah. But I definitely remember that. That's interesting. Because I just think you can. I think it'd be great if we could find, a way to. I don't want to say go back in time, but if we find a way to look at buying trends during these generations to see which ones super the greatest came out and like really push the consumers forward to buy. I know when Goonies last week said I think it was the PlayStation 2 was the highest selling console ever.
Yeah.
And I would love to see like, with inflation, like what generations had the highest sell points. Like I think that'd be really interesting to see, which ones really like got people to purchase, because you can have all the teraflops or all the games and everything like that, but if people aren't buying it, then it's dead in the water. So I would love to see something like that. It's very interesting.
I think if you're looking at the generations as far as a sales standpoint, you're gonna probably look at the PS2, Xbox, GameCube gen. So
as the highest, I think so too. I think that would be like a huge like mountain, because I think innovation is what brings people to the market to buy. And that's why they're always pushing.
I think the innovation happened the prior gen, because you gotta look at between what Super Nintendo was bringing to the table and then seeing Mario 64. Same thing with Link to the Past and then Ocarina of Time. So for Nintendo, it pushed definitely 3D platforming and 3D action adventure games forward, and then you had Sony innovating with their platform, along with bringing stuff like a lot of the third party games on PlayStation on there. All the killer games from Sega, even though Sega of America didn't know what to do with the Saturn, so because in of itself it was a 2D machine trying to do 3D. So, but
I would love to. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say I would love to be able to peer into that universe where Sega like did it right, and it's still in the marketplace. Like if you believe in the multiverse theory, like you would like I really sometimes want to be able to peer and be like, that they have that game over there. Damn, that'd been awesome, but. But we're stuck in this one. So anyway,
the Dreamcast.
One of the things I was thinking about is talking about and thinking about, because especially Sega is going to go back to, they have their initiative right now to remake or bring out like their old IP. And I would think, okay, what company out there would you guys, that might be a main event question to think about. Like what company would you like to see have a reinvigoration of their back catalog and to be able to go ahead and do that? Because there's a lot of lapse companies out there like Hudson Soft or Konami, or you got to think of all these companies that basically, even though Konami brings a game out here every now and then, I mean Konami of the 8 and 16-bit era, they pale right now in their modern compared to what they were back then. So
it's a good thing, and again, these main event questions we all come up with, but if you have a main event question, listener, this is talking to listener, if you have a main event question that you would like us to do, pop it in our Discord. We'll definitely ask our listeners the question, and we'll definitely give our feedback on it. Again, we love to hear back from you. We take time to read your feedback and answer it. So if you have any questions that you would like us to present for our main event question, let us know. Like, we would love to hear your thoughts. But again, like I said, you can stay tuned towards the end, and then Kev will let you know how you can do that. So before I transition into our next segment, do either of you have anything that you would like to add before we close this session out? Joe?
One thing that I kind of liked that Chase brought up is as far as he was still playing games, but he didn't quote unquote immerse himself in the gaming culture or go to arcades or get magazines or anything. So it's kind of funny that, for me, gaming was something that I attached to like a white on rice almost immediately when I was a kid. And it's really interesting to see someone that kind of just dabbled in it and got into it later in life. So, yeah, because I think for both me and Kev, I mean, we kind of got on it immediately when we were kids. So,
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I got in. I got it in. I got it in my late teens, early 20s when I moved out, and I was living with Joe. Joe was the one that got me. He was definitely the dealer, the video game dealer. You know. So yeah. So, Kev, do you have anything you'd like to add before we transition over?
No, I think we definitely appreciate the thought and the feedback from both these responses. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So, like I said before, next week we will have a new main event question. And you know what follows me? The Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, Diz.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so this particular week we got a lot of fiascos to talk about. So the first fiasco has to do with Sony Entertainment's Helldivers 2. So
Say it isn't
uh,
so.
say it isn't so, yes. So what's going on with Helldivers 2 is that Sony did announce this past Friday, which would have been on the 3rd of May, that from May the 30th, the Steam version of Helldivers will require all players to sign in with a PlayStation Network account. So this requirement was briefly present when Helldivers 2 launched, but was removed after the game's huge early success led to technical issues. Now, many PC players have basically been crying about it because of the fact that there are countries out there that do not have PSN available. So right now, this time, Helldivers 2 has been hit with over 100,000 negative reviews on Steam in less than 48 hours on there. And the CEO of Arrowhead, Johan Pilstate, apologized on X and says, "Well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry, everyone, for how this all transpired. I hope we will make up and regain the trust by providing a continued great game experience. I just want to make great games on here." So, and Sony claimed on Friday that the move was designed to protect players. So, account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studio games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in this type of behavior. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. So basically what's going on with this, though, is that the game was taken off Steam on a number of different countries. So basically, if you purchase the game on Steam, you no longer can use the game without signing up for a PlayStation Network account. So there's a list of maybe about 100 plus countries that no longer have Helldivers 2 on sale currently. So people have been trying to get refunds, and basically Steam has waived the playtime limit on here for that. So there's a list of about a lot of different countries that don't have PSN access, and so there's been a ton of refund requests, and some of them haven't been honored by Steam. So this whole situation is basically just, I hate to use the terms, just one kind of big shit show right now for Helldivers 2. So, which is kind of unfortunate because the game is still quite great, but it's just funny that
bad luck.
It is a bad look. Yep. So right now, let's take a look. It's just the point that there's a list of countries that you just literally can't play. But I could see where people have maybe talked about this is a big ado about nothing. It's just something to say about if you don't live in those countries. So this includes like Afghanistan, Cambodia, lots of African countries, Armenia, Morocco, so a lot of even more exotic countries out there, so including like Eastern, like Fiji and so on and so forth. So I'm really thinking that they should go back on this and make it optional and kind of go from there. Right now, I mean, Sony is getting basically kind of almost in a way just I've seen some comments I think have gone too far in this whole equation. I've seen comments like, I don't want to be a Sony bootlicker, kind of commentary out there about this. They're trying to tag in the whole Stellar Blade controversy, non-controversy into this as well, talking about censorship and I don't want to be a Sony bootlicker, kind of crap, so. But the CEO of Arrowhead has commented on Twitter earlier today, stating that there's been some further discussions with Sony on how to handle this, and there is quote unquote more to come. Hopefully, he's trying to get them to see the light, and I'm hoping they do see the light. But for us three console plebs living in the U.S., we're not
plebs. Wow.
Kind of feeling the effects of this.
Console peasants.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the correct terminology.
Yeah, console peasants. We are good to go. We don't care. We get to play our Helldivers 2, no problem, But we don't live in, a country that doesn't have PSN, and we're not, having to see if we could actually get a VPN to be able to log into PSN, or to just lie and say you are in a different country, which you could easily do. But another wrinkle on this too, and I saw a TikTok of all things, God forbid the TikTok, China is like trying to influence me right now about this whole equation and this news story, but there's one TikTok that made a mention, I'm a PC gamer, I have to log into my Rockstar account to play Red Dead Redemption. No problem. Oh, I gotta log into, Rockstar to play my GTA. No problem. When it comes to logging into a PSN account, oh my God, it's so fucking horrible. Don't make me do that. And then you want to play some Rainbow Six Siege? Oh, guess what? Oh, log into Ubisoft server. No problem. So I think some people are latching onto this and the quote unquote outrage about this. I agree it's 100% bad, but I think there's, obviously with social media, you're going to deal with people just kind of piling on to be piling on as well. So what's your overall take about this, Kev, about this whole Helldivers 2 controversy?
Okay, so I'm going to say some things that can be taken the wrong way. No shade on where people choose to play games. Wherever you choose to play is perfectly fine. So if it, as the kids say, if it don't, it let it fly if it don't apply. Okay. I am so sick of these PC hypocrites. And there's no other way to say it. Some of these guys, and they also tie in with this anti-woke nonsense that's going on in gaming. Not to say that I don't see the points. I do see the points in some of the stuff they talk about. But in this case, this is the biggest nothing burger for the majority of people playing in first world countries. Here's the thing. Those folks in Cambodia, those folks in all these places where PSN isn't, guess what? A lot of them pirated Helldivers too, just in case you didn't know. A lot of them did. A lot of those places also just created, if they bought it legitimately, they created a US free email, free based, an email based email, and we're able to go onto a US based store, either by their VPN or just simply accessing it through. I think there's a card or someone walked through it. I saw online. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. There are bypasses that you can go through, and not even have to use a VPN. But here's the thing. I can't play an EA game without being forced to create if I don't already have one, create an EA account so I can play the next Need for Speed. So I had to have that in this last one. Can't play any Ubisoft game, multiplayer or single player, without logging into your Ubisoft account. This don't matter where you play. Heaven forbid I have to create a free account. Now, the last time that's right, because PSN asks for your social security. Oh, no, they don't ask for social security number? Okay. Oh, they ask for your debit card's PIN number. Yeah, I forgot they do that. Oh, wait, they don't do that either. So you don't even have to have any kind of form of payment on your free PSN account, just like every other freaking free account that's gaming related out there. These people are just bitching for bitching's sake. Some of these PC people, and they're in every group. I know they're in the PlayStation group, they're in the Xbox group, they're in the Nintendo group. But some of these PC people, man, if you even just mention that you play on a console, it's almost like an affront to them. Like you did something bad to them. Like that's how they respond to you in social media. I'm not a corporate bootlicker. I'm not. Yeah, and a lot of y'all don't even buy games. You pirate everything. That's why this is being put behind the PSN, in part, I would imagine, to try and curb some of the piracy that's going on, so that they can see, okay, this guy is playing a cracked code online, and this guy is playing a legitimate code. How are we going to crack down on some of that? Well, you make them have to have a PSN account that has that. And again, how hard is it to create a Gmail account, a burner account? How hard is it they're not even asking you for what's your blood type, what's your what's the name and age of your firstborn child.
You stop buying it, huh?
These people, no, I'm not. They are bitching for bitching's sake, because they bitch about everything. They bitch. Well, how come this game? How come Dragon's Dogma 2 isn't performing the way it should be on PC? It's like, well, because that was Capcom's fault, and they screwed up the how the what do they call that, the fidelity on it. It's CPU centric. And now all those people that don't have a top of the line CPU can't play it, and well, if I've literally seen this, well, if you're playing Dragon's Dogma 2 on any platform, you should boycott Capcom. Why? I knew it was stuck at 30. They pretty much told you it was stuck on 30 across all platforms, unless you had beast mode rig, to run it at a higher frame rate, because it impacts the CPU. These people, it's just one thing to complain about after another, after another, after another. And I was listening to one YouTuber kind of going in on this, You know, I would love it if they would just say, okay, y'all don't want you to sign up for a free PSN account. Okay, we're just gonna put all our shit on Epic and just leave and just be done with these people. It- I I don't understand how some of the littlest insignificant things can get someone so caught up in the fervor. But now that I think of it, I understand how it got caught up in the fervor. You know why? Because Helldivers 2 dropped in the midst of all this Sweet Baby Inc. bullshit that was going on. And everybody made Helldivers 2 this beacon of non-woke content. I'm just running around shooting people, shooting bugs and shooting robots, and yeah, yeah. I don't have to I don't have to see none of this real world shit in my game. And it's like, okay, yeah, but you're totally missing the fact that this whole thing, just like um what was that movie where where they fought the bug.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers is just a parody of fascism. You kind of miss that. Okay, gotcha. But and Stella Blade became the darling of them because you have a pretty female character who's not uglified like they're doing in the West. Arr. And then these little things happen that in the long term don't affect how your enjoyment of the game or anything. But these people, just like Dig Dug, puffing up one of them things that's chasing them around on the screen. It's like they puffed it up so much that the slightest deviation makes their personal bubble burst. And oh, here comes the wokeness. Here comes it. I mean, I've seen people say that, well, this means that Arrowhead is going to start putting real life politics into my game. It's what, because they want you to sign up for a free account? I
think that's how that works.
It's dude, the nonsense that is going on, that has gone on between these two games and the quote unquote culture is absolutely retarded. And like I said, I see the points on both sides. Yes, the anti-wokies have legitimate, valid complaints. Yes, the wokies do have valid, legitimate counter complaints. But they both take it to such freaking extremes that they're just like they're literally like the Proud Boys and Antifa. Just
just too much.
Just two people that are just like, yo, can't you just play a freaking game and enjoy it for what it is? Oh, you can't, because you're in this echo chamber, this toxic ass echo chamber that is just shrieking constantly at you just to hate something for the sake of hating it. And that's on both sides of the fence. I just don't understand that shit, like, at all. At all. So, no offense to our, like I said, if it don't fly, let it, if it don't apply, let it fly. We got PC gamers in our community, love them to death. Definitely not talking about PC gamers as a whole. I think most of these folks just want to play their game. And just like that TikTok, I saw that same TikTok video. It's like, oh, I'm signing. It's basically you're signing into different third-party validation servers constantly. Every freaking game you play. But nope. PlayStation wants me to do it. Oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, they're going to abuse my information. Oh, you have this mental breakdown because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered because I live in the last frontier of gaming freedom, which is the PC platform. Okay. Okay, you know, if whatever makes you sleep at night, bro, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I could make a Japanese account and an Asian PSN account, people out there could make an account. It's not that big of a reach.
A simple Google search will walk you through every step you need to do.
Yeah, but just gotta make it simple for the people in the countries that want to play this game. So I think they should, make it easier for PSN accounts to be assigned up in different countries if need be, or see what they could do to modify that. I know one thing that was kind of stated on social media over the weekend was that they were asking about Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima, yeah, and they said that you don't have to sign up for a PSN account to play the single player on PC, but if you want to play the Legends multiplayer, you do have to sign up for a PSN account. So
shocking! I'm appalled.
I know.
And by the way, folks, all of the someone I think it was JTech TV, so shout out to him. He went out and he found like all of the promotional videos for Helldivers 2, like from its beginning, and I think he took it all the way to the launch. PSN account required was never removed from the advertising. Ever.
Yeah, it's always been there. I mean,
it was never removed from the advertising. So when there's they lied and they kept it hidden from us, and they told you why they did it to begin with, and they said it was going to be a temporary fix or a temporary skip. Now the ride's over. You got to sign up for an account, and everybody's clutching their pearls. So or certain people, not everybody. Certain people are clutching their pearls. It's like y'all too much.
There's another fiasco, and this is involving one of our favorite companies, Limited Run Games. Dun dun dun. So Limited Run had to apologize because they were selling some games for the 3DO. So they had the rights for the horror game that was released originally on 3DO and PlayStation 1 on there, and they have apologized because they were selling a game.
Bad version?
It came with burnt CDR discs instead of pressed disc on here. So they recently sold a $64.99 collector's edition of 1995's Horror Game D.
Are they using your game, Doctor? Is that what they're doing?
That's hilarious.
Well, let me read on. So they were supposed to sell a physical 3-disc release for the 3DO consoles that are actually advertising this as running on 3DO on here. Some players receiving the game discovered that it didn't work on their 3DO because it was a CDR instead of a press disc. Even though 3DO hardware has no copy protection and can theoretically read CDR discs, compatibility is low and it can wear out the console's laser faster. But while 3DOs can play CDR discs in practice, some consoles may struggle to play them at all. Pressed discs differ from CDRs in that the manufacturing process involves making a glass master disc and using it to create an exact replica of the original disc. CDRs are less accurate and can result in disc read errors with certain lasers. And this is the statement Limited Run came out. It says it would like to apologize unreservedly to all who have purchased the game and experienced an issue. Manufacturing games for hardware that is 30 plus years old represents a variety of challenges. We partner with one of the biggest disc replication providers in North America to press our physical discs. And despite researching original 3DO hardware and software extensively, we found quality and reliability issues when attempting to press 3DO disc in the traditional manner. In an attempt to offer full compatibility with original hardware, our disk replication partner was able to successfully manufacture the disk using a CDR format, which we believe would work across all commercially available 3DO systems. This process was professionally done and was used to ensure maximum compatibility rather than serve as a cost-cutting exercise. We tested disc on 3DO consoles in our office, and all 5 discs from the game worked as expected. So I guess they just decided to just go on at it, and it was quality tested with the 3DO consoles in their office. So it was only upon shipping to our customers that we came to realize that some users were experiencing difficulty. We will not be selling or shipping further copies of this game or any future 3DO titles until the situation has been resolved.
Did they get their money back?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like, that sounds great and all, but if they
have to open up a ticket and request a full refund.
No, they need to just give me what I want. They need to give me my shit.
They should refund them and then let them keep the discs at least in the packaging and whatnot. So
something. That's funny.
But I'm not sure how they're going to resolve it. But they also are pressing a 3DO version of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, another great 3DO game. It's currently in production with an estimated shipping date of August 2024. So
really that one ain't gonna come out probably.
Probably save everyone from that equation because that game sucks. It became a meme how bad that game was.
You can't. Sometimes you just can't. You just get games that you can get, and you just kind of leave it at that.
I know. But I just found it crazy that they were selling CDRs in a professional disc. It's like, we thought they were going to work. They worked on ours. So.
What do you mean they don't work?
They worked on ours. So.
I mean, again, mistakes were made. They made. I mean, again, I would think that. I try to be as, nice as I can, but come on. You're telling me that you didn't realize that there was a problem at all? Did you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying very hard to give them the benefit of the doubt, but having bought stuff from them, they are definitely not one of my favorite places to get my stuff from. They're just not. They are just not. Nope.
I kind of wish in a way that they would wait until they actually press the game onto a disc, and then when they put it up for sale, have it available to be shipped immediately.
Yep.
After waiting for, I think, 18 months, 2 years for that one game, me and you
Tiny Metal.
Tiny Metal.
I will never forget that. It took forever. To the point where I was literally sending them emails like, do you have my right information? Do I need to send you something else? Like, come on. Oh, it's just not ready yet. Like, oh, okay. Damn. Yeah, I don't. It's just not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Most of those companies, I mean, have you heard of Strictly Limited game?
Yeah, Strictly Limited does the same thing, but at least like a lot of their stuff, the time difference is definitely not as bad as it was in from Limited Run. It just was not. I've gotten games from both of them, and it just definitely was not as bad as Limited Run. Like that was just bananas.
Strictly Limited is worse than Limited Run now. So
really? I haven't bought anything from them in a long time, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I got one game. I'm looking at my pre-order here. I pre-ordered it on January 30th of 2023, and it's still not even getting into manufacturing yet.
Really? So. I've never had to wait that long. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a game called Shinobi Non Grata that I bought a PS4 version of.
Never even heard of that.
Well, been out. It's been out. When they announced the physical version of that, it got released on Steam like a long time ago, and so it's like, it's just not doing me any favors. It came out May 24th of last year on Steam, and it's
so crazy to me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about requesting a refund. I know that there's this one game I bought in Japan called Ray's Arcade Anthology. It has all the Raystorm games on there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Basically, the U.S. and Western version of that, it's only available in Japan. And I ordered it on Amazon Japan. I had it delivered to my hotel room, but The Western version of that still hasn't come out, and there are people out there that have been waiting because it went on sale about 2 years ago. So. And they haven't gotten the money to even press it as of yet.
That's
There's
insane to me.
I mean, it's been out in Japan for long, and they've talked about, I guess, that company has a quote unquote cash flow issue, and so they're not
Maybe
able
that's why.
to basically press these games. It's the same company. Strictly Limited is the same company that ININ, if you've seen that label.
I have.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the same company. Yeah, and so, I think because they've been pressing all these different Space Invader games, Bubble games, and other stuff, that they are definitely don't have enough money to be able to manufacture all these games after they took the money from the people to begin with. So.
You think that they would have a little bit more money if they took all this money from the people in order to get it. So I'm just like, well.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next fiasco, probably not a fiasco per se, but Sony is pulling Horizon Zero Dawn from the PlayStation Plus game catalog. So,
why?
They are removing Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition from the PlayStation Plus game catalog in May. It will leave the service on May 21st on here. So I guess there's other games that are leaving the PlayStation Plus service. That includes 6 Final Fantasy titles on here, but its upcoming removal is notable because it's a first-party game, and it pretty much has sold like 20 million copies. So basically, as reported by Push Square, last time a game published by Sony left the game catalog was when Spider-Man was removed in May 2023 as part of the platform holder called a normal content refresh. That was pulled from PlayStation Plus 5 months before the release of its sequel, Spider-Man 2. Now, in late 2022, it's reported that Sony was planning to release a remaster of Horizon Zero Dawn for PS5. So,
this might be why.
Yeah. So, they're thinking
understandable.
That new version of Horizon Zero Dawn would add accessibility features, graphics modes, and quality of life improvements, but guess they might be removing it so they could probably bring out another remaster. So yep. So
it's annoying.
I know. It's not like, if you already bought the game, you could play. It's just on whatever's available on the service. It's not going to be easily available. You could still purchase it on PSN or whatnot. So it's just not going to be part of your PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium subscription. So
it's still annoying.
Yep. I don't know. We'll have to see if, come, June and Summer Games Fest, whether Sony will have a showcase and show off Horizon Zero Dawn, another remaster. So
I'll probably buy it because I really like the Horizon series. So I'll probably be the sucker and buy it.
I couldn't. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't. I got boring.
I never played it.
Oh, you never did? Yeah, I played quite a bit, and it just kind of got boring.
Mm-hmm.
I could be playing this instead of Suicide Squad.
I can see how some people could see that, but like for me, my whole thing was just fighting the giant robotic dinosaurs. Like you literally had to use your weapons to dismantle them.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I just fell in love with that loop. I thought that gameplay loop was just awesome. The second one I thought was even. I thought they built upon what they had in the first game even more so. And the second one I absolutely love. Although I have not played the DLC for the second one yet. Bright and Shiny's, taking my attention away. Definitely. But I'm definitely going to be going back and replaying that DLC at some point. I have no idea when. I would probably pick up a reskin of the first game for sure.
All right, and then in other news, the first platform holder has announced their upcoming showcase. So Xbox has announced that they have a game showcase and a redacted direct for June. So it's going to be on June 9th, 2024. 10 p.m. on 10 a.m. not 10 p.m. on a Sunday on here. So the showcase will take place in LA during the same week as Summer Game Fest, so kind of similar to E3 timing, if whatnot. So basically, the showcase will be followed by a direct, which Microsoft is currently billing as the redacted direct on here, and it's according to The Verge. This redacted direct, which has a logo of 3 wolves on here in a shield emblem, with a capital U.S. Capital behind it graphic. It's going to be a Call of Duty direct. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess
It's Black Ops 5.
Yeah. When it first came up, listener Alfred from GH Radio thought it was like a Division 3 announcement. Pretty much had to break it to him. No, that's not an Ubisoft game. It looks like it's going to be Call of Duty, sir. Call of Duty. So.
Yeah.
So.
Too bad.
Right now, according
too bad.
Well, we'll probably see. Hopefully, we'll see something more about Division 3 during some Ubisoft event, but that game is not going to be out for a while. So,
yeah.
Well, I'll have to go and lend emotional support to Goonie to make sure he doesn't collapse or faint or anything like that. So, but according to The Verge, they basically list as far as target launch months for Xbox first-party games coming in 2024. On here, so they stated that according to that the next Starfield expansion, which is called the Shattered Space expansion, is coming out in September, and then Activision is targeting the next Call of Duty for late October, and Avowed and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will be out in November, and then Indiana Jones will be out in December. So that's the kind of cadence as far as the games that are expected to be talked about during this show, along with a lot of other titles, hopefully. But I don't know what you gentlemen are expecting from Xbox, but I just want some receipts for the prior games that they've shown, and I haven't seen anything about, you think about that Rare game. Remember that?
Yeah, I
Rare
was
game
just thinking about that, and I was like, wasn't that going to be coming out soon? Because
Everwild,
that game looked
no.
really good. I was damn, that game looks fun. Nope.
Fable. Haven't seen anything on Fable. Contraband. Nope. Remember that Contraband? They just showed a graphic and a logo. So
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark. Yeah, there you go. Rumored about another Gears game, Gears 6 or something. Maybe a Gears of War collection. So there's plenty of stuff that they could announce. I'll be kind of curious to see what random Japanese developer they decide Money Hat and have. Oh, hey, Xbox has support for now. So to see what happens. Be fun.
So, Blue Dragon remake. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I would love it if they went back to either that or Lost Odyssey, but we'll have to see, so.
Nah. Nope. Sorry, sir.
Don't know. We'll see. We'll have a watch party for this wonderful thing.
I'll definitely watch it with you.
Yeah. We'll watch it on Discord.
Yeah.
And see if you guys want to hop on. Promise not to hate. Promise.
Never that. I just want good stuff. Period.
Yeah.
I just want to see a reason to turn that thing on. I don't think that's asking for too much.
Nope.
No.
I don't think any of our tastes fall so far out of the median that that Xbox would not be able to produce something that we would find that we could look forward to. I just refuse to believe that is impossible, because this is, again, the original Xbox was my preferred platform back in the day. The 360 was kind of my preferred platform back in the day, because I didn't get a PS3 till a year and some months after it came out. So they can do it. They've done it in the past. It's just that they're not doing it right now. But we'll see. We'll see what they have going on. But I think there is no reason why they would not be able to come up with at least one game that all three of us would be interested in playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they don't have that ability to do so. Will they do it? That's a whole other question.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gone back, but I know another Crab's Treasure dropped on Games Pass, so I'm kind of curious about that. And that Dungeons of Hindenburg, I'm really interested in too, and that drops, I think, in June on there. So there's a few games I'm kind of looking forward to and taking a look at. So, who knows? Maybe I'll talk about Xbox at some point, but I've not turned that since that month of Xbox. It's been no Xbox, so.
Yeah, I haven't turned it on either. And I had to give up on Grim Dawn, unfortunately. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Did you have a corrupted save?
No, I just don't want to turn it on. No, I just stopped playing it because I was like, I'd rather play something else. That's literally what it came down to, Kev. No lie, I was just like, Do I really want to turn this on right now? No. Okay.
God.
Now, something we do want to turn on, though, and this is my last news story for this episode, is that a game that we know and love, Earth Defense Force 6,
Woo-hoo!
finally has a release date. So it's going to launch for PS5, PS4, and PC via Steam and Epic on July 25th.
Sounds great.
$59.99 on here. So PlayStation Store pre-orders are available now and include the following bonuses: 24 hours of early access, some downloadable content on there. The deluxe edition is priced at $89.99 and includes the EDF6, a season pass, including additional weapons, of course, Air Raider, Ranger weapons, Wing Diver equipment, Fencer weapons, and some additional missions. The additional missions are entitled Lost Days and Visions of Malice. So on there. So basically the overview of the game is that, hey, guess what? Giant bugs are coming back. So there's a big story synopsis. I don't know if you want me to read it. Let's just say.
Hopefully the Deroys and the Hectors make a return.
You can read it, Joe. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to spoil anything for us.
No, the year is 2024 AD. Mankind has won the long battle against the unknown invaders. The enemy primers have now gone, and peace has returned to Mother Earth. Woo-hoo! However, the population has shrunk to 10%, and the world was on the verge of collapse.
Oh, no.
The survivors fought against the remaining threats while trying their best to continue their recovery. 3 years have passed. In the year 2027, in a new world without hope, the time has come for once again to resist the fate of the Earth. So,
okay.
So it says the identity of the invader that has long tormented Earth is finally revealed. A chain of deep despair that strikes in a devastated world for the first time in the series. But your presence as a soldier of the Earth Defense Force will lead humanity to the greatest joy. Now you must face it with courage and wisdom. So the largest volume in the history of the series. So it has the largest number of missions and weapons ever included. All missions support online cooperative play for up to 4 players. Offline cooperative play is also available in split screen mode. And there's 4 different soldier classes. And basically you're able to fight along real Earth Defense Force members from across the world. So.
Yeah, day 1, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we're not getting a physical, are we?
Well, guess what? No thing has been announced for a physical, but I didn't know, and I got caught slipping because I guess when I was making my way over to Japan, I didn't realize that the game was actually released in Asian territories and is available now to order on PlayAsia. So it came out. It's already out in English. It came out on March 14th and it's available for a wonderful $76.98 right now for your PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5.
On PlayAsia.
So, on PlayAsia, so yeah. So we might be talking about EDF 6 earlier than the launch date of July 25th. In fact, after putting this outline up and seeing that it was available, I'm just kind of curious if it's the same version or not, or if it's like
look online and see.
Fine. Like, I was looking to see if maybe someone on YouTube has a playthrough or something, just to see if it has the full voice acted and whether it's not just subtitled Japanese language track or anything like that. It might be something I want to double dip anyway, but with both the digital and the physical, but we'll have to see. So were you guys interested in buying it prior to the release date? Did you have it now? Because it is in English. It is available. So
I might. I mean,
$76. I mean, not like it's gonna break my back or anything, but
he's like, hear him over there. He wants to get buy. He wants that buy-in, Kev. It's like, hey.
I was gonna buy it buy it during the show. It's like, oh shit. Because the deluxe edition with all the DLC though is $89.99 and it has all that stuff, including the DLC. So
you are feeling it though. You're feeling it, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Does that include shipping?
A little bit.
No, but PlayAsia, once you get over $100, you get free shipping anyway. So
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could easily find something else.
That's an interesting thing. I might have to get in there. Like, I haven't bought anything from PlayAsia in a minute, so.
Plus, I know with Switch Watch and there's some discount codes floating around out there.
Oh yeah,
for,
Switch Watch,
5% off or $5 off or something like that. So.
Yeah, it's usually 5% off, so they'll pay for your tax. So.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was another game that I wanted that came out that I'm kind of curious about too. So we'll have to see. The other game I was curious. Ever heard of a game called Assault Suit Lanos 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard of Assault Suit Lanos. I've never played it though.
It came out for Saturn back in the day, but they have a Switch version that came out
there you go.
really recently. Yeah, it's in stock. Yeah, it's basically, if you remember playing the game Cybernator on the SNES, it's the sequel to Cybernator. So. Actually, no. Assault Suit Lanos, it's a sequel to Target Earth on the Genesis. My bad. I'm getting that confused with Cybernator for some reason. So,
still a 2D mech game? Or
2D mech game, yeah. I used to own it on Saturn, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
I might have to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it. Just came out April 25th as far as Assault Suit Lanos 2, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Damn.
All right. That is the last news story, and probably we're all heated over here now. We're going to be buying games after the show's over. But
overheat.
My wallet's getting ready for cover.
All righty, folks. Well, game nights take place every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the day and the time of the week that we like to set aside to interact with our growing Discord family and play games together. So if that sounds cool with you, if that sounds cool to you, we definitely want to invite you to participate in one of our Thursday game nights. And you don't even have to be gaming. You could be doing something else. I'm usually cooking or trying to get some stuff together before I can hop on and play. But whatever game that you have that you would like to play with us, just mention it in the Discord and we'll play it with you. And that's every Thursday. 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you might be asking, well, that sounds cool and all, but how do I be a part of the Discord? Now, that's easy too. All you do is hop on over to the app formerly known as Twitter, currently known as X, and head over to @GamingVessels, GamingVessels. Click the link in the bio and you're in. Guess what? There's no merch we're going to hawk to you. There is no Patreon tier list that you need to pay for. All we ask is just to be a level-headed person, cool-minded, who just likes playing and talking about games. It does not matter what perspective you have, what variance of opinion you may have. All is expressed, but all the differences are expressed and debated, discussed without the personal attacks. I know that's shocking that you can interact on social media without personally attacking someone. In this day and age, it seems very difficult. But yes, that is a possibility for you to do, and you can do it over on our Discord, our Gaming Vessels Discord server. So definitely want to send out major supersized kudos to Will D and Crucial Chase, two of our generals in our Gaming Vessels Discord family. So big shout out to you two for your well thought out perspective on your favorite generations. And we just really enjoy having people who listen or who are part of our Discord group send us feedback, because I feel it just makes the podcast all the more interesting to the rest of our listeners. So big supersized kudos for you two for taking the time to make that happen. So that is going to bring episode 246 to a close. We want to thank you for chilling out, hanging out with us. For Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover.
That's me.
Or the hater, depending on what's being discussed.
Of course.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy, and for Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
You
might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. I'm Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all. Don't never forget about that bling bling.
Indeed. And we'll be back next time, episode 247 for your ears. Peace.